All right, and we are live. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to the show, Tokenized live stream. We have quite the show for you. This is streaming out to YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, to the whole crypto universe, basically, galaxy. And if we have any questions, we'll be answering your questions via the AMA. Just give me a few minutes here as I get situated. So Bitcoin, $16,000 Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin going? We'll have Bitcoin price predictions. We'll have altcoin price predictions, Ethereum price predictions. We'll tell you what's going to happen with Bitcoin and crypto and capital markets due to the new vaccine. We'll tell you what we think is going to happen if there's a second economic shutdown. This is definitely going to be a very, very exciting show. The whole world is watching to see what the economy is going to do. And we have our chief technical analyst in the house, Bill. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Ian, hi. Thanks for having me on the show. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so let me just check in here with the audience and see how we're doing before we begin. Okay, looks like it's asking me to log in again. Okay, just give me a few minutes here. The perks of doing it live. Okay, all right, sorry. So we do have a code for everyone to go to menti.com to submit your questions for the AMA, whether it's a question on the economy or a question on something else. It could be anything, really. Our team is here to answer those questions. Just go to menti.com. That's MENTI.com. Use the code 1065965. That's 1065965. And give me a second here as I try to find this. Just want to make sure we're getting all the comments from our audience across all different platforms. So as I'm pulling this up, let me know down in the comments what has been your best investment thus far in all of 2020. Because 2020 has definitely been a great year for altcoins, even Bitcoin as well. So curious to hear what has been your best investment so far. So share with all our crypto family. What's up, King Nick? Welcome to the show. Okay, so now comments are streaming in. Okay, all right, so I think without further ado, maybe let's just hop straight into it, Bill. Let's hop with the market update.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we have a very robust situation out there in the world, right? First, we had a presidential election and not everybody agrees who the president is. And then we had a vaccine and now we're having a shutdown. And that's all in the same like 1.5 week period. I don't know about you, but I need a nap. All right. So for our readers and our listeners this week, I want to talk about what happens if you get kind of a flash dip, right? So I'm going to go through the markets and I'm going to talk about like what happens under certain scenarios. But I want you to remember this. Okay, this is very important because crypto is going to be or could be super volatile. Just keep telling yourself, I'm not too early and I'm not too late. You are right on time for the future of crypto. Okay, now Bitcoin, the question of the hour, the spaceship going higher. Long time ago in one of our newsletters way back, we actually talked about this head and shoulders formation. This is Bitcoin futures, okay? So today's November 15th. This is the 2-day chart of the Bitcoin futures contract. And the analysis here shows that if Bitcoin continues to go slowly upward, 16,900 would be the next stop. So how would we get there? Well, let's see. I think everybody's buying Bitcoin. I think the Fed's the only entity that hasn't bought Bitcoin publicly so far. So there's always that. There's the fact that they could inject massive amounts of money into the system if people freak out about the virus on Monday. And then, of course, there's just your plain old simple. Everybody's just going to BTFD in Bitcoin until it continues to go up and up. All right. Now, sometimes in technical analysis, we want to see certain things fail. So now this is a Bitcoin daily chart, and it's telling you two things. All right. The little arrows are Thursdays. So people who read our newsletter know that we've talked about Turbo Thursday. There's some sort of buy program out there that just buys Bitcoin every Thursday. And that yellow line is sort of like a homemade parabola. People in crypto Twitter love parabolas. Now, what do we want to see happen? When you break a parabola, supposedly you go down a lot, like you retrace 80%. I don't think that's going to happen. But if it did, I think it would be a flash crash. Like, not like March, it would be like in one day. So you want to have some cash ready. Now, I don't think it's likely. It's probably more likely it hits 15,500 and finds buyers. Okay. Keeping in mind that upside target. That said, Bitcoin is getting close to a price target. Yes, it could just completely go to the moon, but I do believe it is time to go shopping in alts. Okay. Now, Bitcoin dominance. Here's the evidence of what I'm saying here. This is the 3-day chart. And these two blue arrows, one over here, one over here. Okay. That's like, the line where, the Bitcoin domination, like right when DeFi started, that's when altcoins took off and Bitcoin dominance went down. So the question for the show is, will Bitcoin continue to dominate? Maybe. Or maybe it's time to use a dip like tonight, to try some altcoins, right? Because Bitcoin could go to the moon, but I am starting to wonder if people are getting a little bit too bullish Bitcoin and alts are sort of like super underappreciated. I saw one tweet where a guy said he was upset because the altcoins that he wants to buy weren't dumping enough tonight. And I think that's really interesting. Okay, let's talk about Ether, right? Because we can't talk about altcoins without talking about Ether. Now, again, it's November 15th. This is a 20-hour chart, which is kind of a chart that it gives you like a similar 3 o'clock close like the stock market. So it's kind of nifty. Now, what we're seeing is Ether is approaching, say, the 430, 440 level. So if you're watching this in a couple of days, if 430 is holding its support in ETH, everything is okay, all is well, and it's probably going to go higher. But if there's some sort of event that says ETH smashing through 430, then the market's got a problem, most likely related to some shutdown fear. For example, University of Michigan sent home all the college students today. They got 48 hours to get out. It's a lot of kids. All right. Now, let's talk about shopping. If Bitcoin continues to go up, right, I like to believe there's a positive Bitcoin scenario. I just like to believe alts can do better. I'm wondering if either 57 or the Christmas dip in Litecoin at 50 would be like the ultimate place to buy in. 50 is the 62% retracement of this whole run up. And as one of our guests taught us, because in TA, right, I'm always learning. You have to be always learning. The 62% retracement of any move is a critical support point. So if there was a flash crash, you might consider Litecoin. Now, going back to the joke that we always make on the show, what's the only reason to like Litecoin? It's the fact that no one likes Litecoin. Now, that's not totally true anymore. Totally, right? Because if Bitcoin continues to go up, everybody streams into PayPal and Coinbase, the non-crypto audience, the noobs, the legacy people, may see a visually enticing price, say $55, $60, and figure, oh, Litecoin, that's just cheap, faster Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is gold and Litecoin is silver. Now, to a crypto audience, ridiculous. To a legacy audience, not ridiculous. And given the fact that Litecoin can smoke higher, if there was a flash dip in this thing below 60 or to 50, because again, people are going to be watching this into next week. So I want to make it as evergreen and as useful as possible. So don't forget about Litecoin. Now, everybody brace yourself. What about Ripple? Okay. I had to ask my boss for permission to say, what if I wanted to be constructive on Ripple? Like, would our Twitter blow up? You know, what would happen? Okay. So first, let's talk about the chart. What has Ripple done? Nothing. That's both good and bad. Okay. Ripple is at 25 cents and support is at 0. All the upside is there if it can move. Now, two things are happening in Ripple. One, a head and shoulders bottom could be developing, could be. And it's also, if you look at this black arrow here, it's done a breakout by moving sideways. And it's up a couple days in a row, right? It's got kind of a little bit of a bid to it. Now, let me ask you something. What is Ripple? Well, crypto people don't like it because it's blatantly centralized, but it's fast. And it looks cheap visually. Again, remember the noobs that are coming to crypto, PayPal, Coinbase, etc. Now, here's something radical, because I always like to do something on the show. It's a little bit different. Ripple, what happens if a central bank decides to partner with Ripple somehow, because it's centralized, to start testing Ripple as a form of payment or a possible like private sector, public sector alliance? Let me say it another way. Everybody thinks central bank digital currencies is a great idea. Okay, it's a great idea. It helps people onboard to crypto. You know, we've talked about governments using them. You know, like instead of giving people handouts that they can open up stock accounts with, that they could give them a digital dollar that they could only use for consumer staples or medicine. Well, what about Ripple? It's centralized, just like a central bank digital currency. So if centralized digital currencies from governments, because we all know governments know everything, right? Whatever. Central bank digital currencies from governments are okay. What about a centralized digital currency in the private sector? I mean, it's totally underappreciated. It has a half decent chart and no one talks about it, right? Like everyone's left the Ripple army probably to join the Link Marines for good reason. But I just think that sometimes on the show, we think about value plays. And, you know, hopefully Ripple is not at 15 cents, 20 minutes after the show ends. But I do think that this is just something to take a look at. All right. Now, let's go to macro. Can you believe they're going to talk about shutting the economy down again? Have you seen the details of this vaccine where it has to be refrigerated at negative 90 degrees to be delivered and stored and shipped? Just for your information, like ice cream at the store is refrigerated at negative 20. So refrigeration trucks can move negative 20 to move ice cream around. Who's got the infrastructure to move negative 90? Then there's all this shutdowns in the Midwest. This thing is spreading like it's in the drinking water, for God's sakes. The Fed is coming. They have to. And if the virus news over the weekend combined with the demonstrations that are happening in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, might want to check some of that out on the blogosphere and Twitter, right? A lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of guys with flags, a lot of people mixing it up with the cops in the middle. Doesn't look pretty to me. Now, this is a chart of the U.S. 10-year note yield, okay? And what you have up here is this massive push higher in yields, which meant all of a sudden everybody was like, oh my God, the economy is going to get so much better. and it takes out this prior high over here where I'm spinning the arrow. Now, what happens, again, it's November 15th. If you're listening to this a couple days from now, what happens if everybody goes, is this economy really okay? Is Joe really going to shut it down for 4 to 6 weeks? Is Joe going to have to put troops on the streets? How are they going to have an inauguration in January? Like, how's that going to be done peacefully? Now, if the answer to these questions are, I don't know, then that is an answer, because markets hate uncertainty. And if markets hate uncertainty, part of the dip, the dump that we're seeing in crypto right now could be because they're afraid of a stock market heave on Monday, because maybe everything isn't as good as they thought. Now, this chart in bonds, as of now, sort of predicts that yields will fall. Now, why do we care about that as crypto people? Because if the Fed comes in and floods the money with markets, interest rates go down, because the way they flood the markets with money is they buy treasury bonds and bills. So if rates are falling, then any type of flash heave in crypto is probably a buy. If for whatever reason interest rates are going up and crypto is heaving, I wouldn't catch the falling knife. But I'm leaning towards interest rates falling, and this market may be giving you a chance to scoop up some stuff if everyone freaks Monday. Okay, so that's it for the macro update. Bottom line is, be prepared to do holiday shopping and be prepared for joint political and virus surprises, because they're going to give you a chance to get altcoins, because altcoins are the future. The virus and political stuff is noise, at least for crypto people. So that's my net.
All right. I mean, awesome analysis, Bill. Thank you as always. If you like that, be sure to smash the like buttons, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Now let's check the audience with the comments. Okay. All right. Okay. So, wow, lots of people here. Black Swan event will be if the orange guy gets a second mandate. Okay. Hi, Bill and Ian. Thanks for the info. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Okay. Dare says, you guys are not suggesting there's any way we could see anything like March 12th, though, right? Okay, so basically he's asking, can we expect to wake up one day where everything's down 30 or 40% in crypto? Can we expect?
Okay, so that's a good question. So the answer is, I don't think it's likely, because I think the Fed's is looking for an excuse to step in. Right. The Fed doesn't want another Black Thursday 2 weeks before everyone's going holiday shopping. Okay. Now, could you see a flash event in altcoins where you wake up tomorrow morning and all your alts are down 10 to 15%? Yeah, you can. You could. Okay. But do I think it's going to look like the other one? No, because I think it's going to be a flash event, because I think the Fed's going to come straight in. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry. So I was saying, does the presidency matter? Because we're kind of in limbo now.
Oh, people. Well, guys, you know me. Yeah, the presidency matters. Okay. Let me give you some details, and you can just, boss, wave your hand or ping me via DM if I talk too much, right? So I'm understanding from the blogosphere, it's in the news that there was like the Million MAGA March yesterday. People outside maybe the Supreme Court with Trump flags. Okay. Which, I didn't see many Trump flags before the election. Now you're seeing a lot of them now. And then I heard Antifa was picking off, once the crowd dispersed and people were going to their cars, I heard, kind of the left-wing groups were picking on Trump supporters trying to get to their cars. So, and I've heard a variety of things about the election. Keep in mind, there's a runoff election in in Georgia, okay, which has a very diverse population, right? One group of people, one type of person lives in Atlanta. Another type of people live in rural suburban Georgia. And that state was absolutely razor thin tied. So Trump is not conceding. We don't know who's got control of the Senate. And we don't know what happens if the people who support Trump decide to take to the streets in Washington, D.C. Right? Like those people, they're not like Antifa with like mace spray. That's a much more serious crowd in terms of armament and defense. I would argue one of the biggest reasons why the Fed may have to come in huge, because they're looking for an excuse, may not be the virus. It could be social disorder, right? Like imagine, I don't know if anybody remembers what happened in the city of Kenosha, right? So you had like basically police behavior that people didn't agree with and the whole city went up in flames. Well, what happens if that occurs in Washington, D.C., except instead of a couple thousand people, it's tens of thousands of people on each side. Now, look, I know I'm the guy on the show that says unusual, outside the box things, but folks, this is on the news. We don't have a president of the United States. Conservative courts, conservative judges appointed by Trump continue to throw out their lawsuits, yet he's still there. Now, he's probably setting up a TV deal. He's probably trying to be as controversial as possible so he can set up his TV deal with whoever he's going to wind up on the air with. That part's fine.
Yeah, I mean, so actually rumors are he might be launching his own network to compete with Fox News.
Right, or making an alliance with Newsmax, which is to the right of Fox News. Okay. Yeah, that's fine, right? I mean, the guy's out of a job, so he can go look for a job. That's part's okay. What's not okay is the people in the streets who are upset. Okay. I mean, I watch these two groups yelling at each other. I mean, we're in crypto. This is hashtag crypto family, people. We want to know where Ether's going. We're not going out in the street to fight. Okay. But, so not knowing who the president of the United States is could create a situation where, things have to be locked down or something that's the Swan event. And that's why in crypto, you have to be ready with some capital in case there's some sort of dip. Because if we get a repeat of March or a repeat of Kenosha, this is coming up, folks. This is a month and a half away. So you want to be ready as a crypto person with some dry powder in the event that there's some kind of event, because don't kid yourself, folks. Everybody seems a little bit too complacent, and you could turn on the TV one day and see some sort of surprise. So I'll leave it there.
All right. So basically be ready to possibly buy the dip. So have money on the sidelines, as Bill mentioned. I think it's definitely a smart plan, especially last week on the show, we showed that our Quant grade had half of its portfolio in cash, basically in stable coins. So if going back to the question that the person asked, if there's a crash, because the last crash that happened, our systems rated Bitcoin the highest it's ever been. Bitcoin had a score of 99% on Tokenmetrics, the highest it's ever been. That's when Bitcoin went below 4K. And we even lost customers because of that. They're like, this must be broken. Bitcoin is down 30%. Why is it telling us to buy? Next thing you know, Bitcoin's now at 16K. I mean, so those who went against the grain, those who went against the herd, made a killing. That's just with Bitcoin. Imagine altcoins, right? So, I mean, we keep on saying this a lot on the show, but you want to buy when everyone else is fearful, right? Because that's when you get the best deals as a value investor. If you're thinking long term, you want to buy when everyone is selling, and to be ready when that happens, you have to have money on the sidelines. All right. So tell us what you think. Do you think there will be a Black Thursday again as we enter this new vaccine world, this new second shutdown? Do you think this could happen in crypto as well? Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, all right. So let us switch over to the PowerPoint here. Just give me a few seconds to pull up our presentation. We're already getting lots of questions via Menti, so keep them coming. Okay, so thank you, Bill, for the market analysis. Now let's continue. If you haven't yet already, be sure to join tokenmetrics.com. Just go to our website, Tokenmetrics, that's TOKENMETRICS.com. We do have discounted trials available for $2 or $5 to try out the hodler plan and the investor plan for 1 week. So basically you have nothing to lose. We also have a 30-day money back guarantee. And quick update, people have been asking about the new trader grades. So apologies for the delay, but we've been trying to make sure they're thoroughly tested prior to launching them. But this is going to be the biggest revamp of Tokenmetrics. I mean, technically this could even be viewed as Tokenmetrics 2.0, but we won't call it that yet because we have something else with 2.0. But we're basically rebuilding the entire grading system from the ground up to be more accurate, fully automated, all powered by AI. We're taking out the human element, so it'll be more objective. But the best part of this is we'll now be able to find those hidden gems automatically, very quickly. So no more waiting for our team to do an in-depth code review or in-depth fundamental analysis. We'll just import coins from CoinGecko, look at their metrics, and automatically grade them in real time. It's going to be crazy. Nobody in crypto is doing this. We think this is going to change the world. And to celebrate this, people have been asking us about Black Thursday, Cyber Monday. We're looking into doing a promotion for this because this will also be our 1-year anniversary, 1-year birthday for Tokenmetrics. So first of all, happy birthday to us and happy birthday to our Tokenmetrics family. If you've been with us since we launched on Black Friday last year, which was November 29th, that will also be our live stream because it's going to be a Sunday. So our 1-year birthday anniversary will be on a Sunday. So I think it's fitting for us to do something to commemorate the occasion. So there will be a big discount. We're not sure exactly what it will be or how much it will be, but there'll definitely be a big discount. So if you've been on the fence and you haven't yet joined Tokenmetrics, this month will be the month to join because we're launching the new grading system and we'll give you the discount of a lifetime. So, I mean, no other reason. And the discount will likely only last until Cyber Monday. So you'll have basically about 3 or 4 days to act on the discount. So if you need some time to get your money ready, do that. We're giving you basically a 2 weeks heads up, but we want to make sure that everybody is want to make sure everybody is boarding the rocket ship as all of us go to the moon and beyond, because 2021 is going to be the year for crypto. 2020 was a great year. Bitcoin is up, altcoins are up, we had DeFi, but think about it. PayPal is now in crypto. You can go to paypal.com and buy Bitcoin. I mean, I don't know what else we're waiting for. I mean, if you have no crypto now, I mean, you must be sleeping under a rock. I mean, because once you see PayPal getting to crypto, what other sign do you need? I mean, like, I would say the last sign remaining is for central banks to issue their own digital currency. For the Federal Reserve Bank, digital dollar was almost here in the last stimulus bill. Who knows? It could be coming into the next one. Then the European Union, we covered this on the last live stream, is also planning to issue their own digital currency. And this is going to be the biggest marketing engine. Basically, central banks and governments will do all the marketing crypto needs. Because once people begin using this digital currencies, and we all know they'll likely suck, people will start looking for other alternatives like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, if you're not in crypto now, We told you so. Okay, all right. Let me continue. That was a long spiel. Okay, why is my sorry? Looks like my browser froze here. Okay, all right. Apologies. Just give me a few seconds. As I'm doing this, just send any questions you may have to menti.com. Okay, let me skip that. Okay, so just wanted to quickly make a shout out. So we've began something new. It's still in the works, but people have been asking us about Token Metrics Academy, or basically how to. So people have been telling us, hey, I'm brand new in crypto. How can we learn crypto? And do you guys have a course? So our team has been working on just that. This is going to be, in our opinion, the best course in crypto. We've been working on this for almost a year now. It's still not quite there yet, but we want to create content in every medium possible. So the best medium you prefer to learn about crypto, we'll have content for you. We'll have videos, we'll have audio, we'll have an ebook, we'll have a physical book as well. You can buy on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble. This is basically the Token Metrics Bible to investing in crypto. This is a book you will give to your friends, family. They read this book beginning to end, they'll become proficient in cryptocurrency investing. So this book will have trading by Bill, we'll have fundamental analysis by our team, we'll have portfolio management, risk management, how to secure your crypto from hackers, from our tech team, NFTs, DeFi. We'll have the whole shebang, right? So this will be the Token Metrics Investment Bible. And most of the content will actually be available for free because we always like making sure everyone has the ability to go out there and learn. So this is kind of us giving back because our vision is really for real economic empowerment to everyone in crypto. So we'll have the videos available for free. We put out a preview. This was the intro to blockchain and cryptocurrency video and blog post. This is on our blog. Let me see if I can actually pull this up here. So if you just go to this link here, you can get a preview on the kind of content we're working on. So each section, so right now we have about 14 topics or sections in the course. So this is just an intro to blockchain and crypto. We have the video here. We have the guides here. So it's pretty long, pretty in-depth. Let us know what you think about the videos. We haven't really been marketing them that much, but this is basically how the video looks like. These are animated videos. So let us know if you like the look and feel of it. But yeah, this is kind of the new Token Metrics Academy. And we hope to launch this sometime next year. So expect to see a lot more videos, especially as we get into more in-depth topics such as quant investing as well. Okay. All right. So that's that. A nice PSA. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Are you hyped for Token Metrics Academy? All right. Bill, any comments on the Academy?
Sure. So in the tagline at the beginning, I was like, you're not too early and you're not too late. So that's an Albert Einstein thing, I believe. You're right on time. Right on time. In 2019, in November, in the altcoin abyss, Captain Balina called the engine room and said, we're launching, go to warp speed. And the engine room was like, what? We're launching? And he's like, yeah, we are launching. 1 year later, we are positioned to be the educational source, and everyone's going to want the educational source because PayPal is doing Bitcoin, among other things. If I had gotten off this show, I got on this show a year ago and said 12 months from now, PayPal will be in Bitcoin, people would have called me a moon boy at best. So kudos to Captain Balina for launching the ship when I think me and you, or especially you, were the believers that altcoins and crypto were the future, right? Anybody can be bullish at the top of the market. It's really hard to be bullish in the abyss. And it's one of the many reasons why I'm super bullish Token Metrics.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Great words. Yeah, I mean, our motto is, are you a believer? And we think that, I mean, there's a lot of space in the market for more than one cryptocurrency. So that's why, while Bitcoin is a great cryptocurrency and we love Bitcoin, there's enough. I mean, this is a huge market. So there's enough for lots of other cryptocurrencies to survive. And our job is to help people find those cryptocurrencies and invest in them and transform their lives as investors or traders. So that being said, let us know what you think down in the comments below as we go into the next section. Okay, all right, so it's time for Crypto Showdown. Okay, Crypto Showdown. Which cryptocurrency will have the best performance in 2020? So we have about a month and a half left in 2020. Which crypto will have the best performance? Is it PAX Gold or is it Dash? Now, the reason why we chose these cryptocurrencies, these have been trending. They've been the largest, the most viewed cryptocurrencies on our platform on tokenmetrics.com. So it seems there's been lots of interest in the last week or so. Gold maybe as a hedge, because gold has been pretty stable, especially during the pandemic. And Dash, I'm not sure what's been going on with Dash. Maybe there's some news or something, or maybe people just want fast money or privacy coins. But Bill, let's have you take a look at these cryptocurrencies.
Okay, certainly. I'm actually going to do this from a couple of different angles. All right, let me get the chart program up. Let's start with the charts. Okay. Now, this is Dash. Okay. And as you can see on Dash, this is a 20-hour chart. So basically a daily chart. It's November 15th, Sunday. And we are watching, unfortunately, in Dash for the moment, an all too familiar story, right? You get this really nice rally and then it fails at a diagonal line. Now, here's the question. Is this square area a base to eventually move higher? Maybe. Okay. Our long-term value portfolios really like this. So the way I would play it is if you saw a Dash really punch through 75, it could go higher. All right. I would love to buy the dip, but I also don't want to make the crypto crowd upset because everybody wants to buy and have it 5x. So my opinion on this is it's something you buy and you tuck away for the day where, you know, everyone wants alternative money. Like you said, what are you going to spend your Bitcoin on? Like if Bitcoin's great, that means Ether's great, Litecoin, Dash, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash even, right? They all have value as different forms of money. All right. Now, speaking of different forms of money, let's talk about this. Market report bullion shortages. Now, this literally came in right before the show started. Okay. And one of the things that I saw here that I found interesting, okay, in short, bullion banks' monopolistic attempts to steer gold lower look like being unsuccessful and likely to end up launching gold prices significantly higher as a result. Now, the bottom line here is that there isn't enough physical gold in the world to satisfy the demand for all the people who think they own it, who own it on paper. Like somebody has a piece of paper that says, I own gold. And guess what? You don't, because there isn't enough physical bullion to deliver into those contracts. Okay. Now, let me see if I can pull up PAX here. Okay. So PAX gold has not done well versus Bitcoin. Okay. And one of the reasons why PAX Gold, I think, is interesting to me is if gold ever really took off, because again, PAX hasn't done much. This looks like a 20-hour chart of PAX. And you can see, you know, there was sort of a big dump here. what happens if everyone wakes up and goes, you know what? I want to own Bitcoin and gold, like the big players. And what happens if there's a physical shortage of physical metal? Well, gold could go up a lot, which means it would be good for PAX Gold. It could also be awesome for crypto and Bitcoin because people are like, oh my God, I can't get in. If I can't get gold or silver physically, then I'm going to get crypto. So the answer to Crypto Showdown is I'm going to go with PAX Gold because of that article that I just saw. Because both cryptocurrencies are doing the same thing. They're kind of doing nothing sideways. I like Dash long-term, PAX Gold short-term. PAX Gold, the winner.
All right. All right. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely do see that I find that very interesting. So basically we have gold versus a large cap coin. Now, people know I've loved PAX Gold because it gives you exposure to gold via a cryptocurrency without having to actually physically buy gold. Now, I think even though I don't have PAX Gold in my portfolio, I know our quant metrics and portfolio has been very bullish on PAX Gold. Not so much because it's going to give you crazy returns. I mean, I think Dash can give you better returns, but because it's gold, you're basically getting an asset that does not really have much correlation with altcoins. So even though it might not give you the best returns, if we have Black Thursday again, it's not going to crash 40% like some altcoins. So I think that's why, based on our quant metrics, is putting that into the portfolio and the indices it's creating. Because almost every index has had whether 5 to 10% in PAX Gold almost as a hedge. And we think that's definitely something that makes sense. Now, in terms of Dash, I think Dash definitely does have more upside, but it'll higher risk, higher losses. Okay, so let's go here to the audience and see what they have.
And I have a better chart of PAX Gold. Can I pull that up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a little technical problem there. Let me just share this chart because this one is the PAX perpetual futures contract. Okay, so here's PAX. Here's a deeper history. All right, now we've seen this before a ton in crypto. Okay, it's very bullish from an Elliott wave perspective to have a rally like this arrow here and then do a consolidation. It's called a 1 and a 2. And then there's another rally, and that's a 1. And then there's another box, there's a 2. So when you have what they call a series of 1s and 2s, okay, frequently it's a prelude to that. Okay, believe it or not, we're actually witnessing something like this going on in Bitcoin. So if you want the longer view, again, I think PAX view is probably going to give you more gratification short term.
So what would the target be? Like go to like 3,000?
Right, let me look. Let me pull it back up again. Well, I mean, if it blows through 2,000, I mean, what did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin went from 10,000 to 16,000, right? That's a 50, 60% return. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gold could easily go from 2 to 3. Okay. If you talk to gold bugs, they think it can go from 2 to 5.
2 to 5,000.
Or 2 to 4. Right. I mean, we're in crypto. Why can't something 1x? If we tell people in crypto it's only going to 1x, they think it's boring and they go thumbs down. Okay. So, think of it this way. Novogratz, Galaxy Digital, right? They were long Bitcoin all year long. And they watched DeFi go all the way up while Bitcoin did nothing. And then, of course, they watched DeFi go all the way down. Then their investment in Bitcoin took off. The gold guys, again, Novogratz also in that crowd, they've watched crypto go crazy. And, gold has gone up, but it hasn't mooned in our terms. Well, why can't it moon? Why can't we start with that Monday? Maybe that's what happens Monday. The Fed comes in huge and securities markets don't really react, but gold screams higher. Very possible, in my opinion. Very. Bitcoin leads, gold follows. It's funny because all these sort of guys like Rickards and some of these anti-crypto people were so down on crypto, and they said gold was so much better. And my attitude was, you know what? Why are we fighting? We have the same view on fiat currencies. Why do the gold guys trash crypto? That's nuts. Okay. So in this case, I'm cheering for gold. So, not to be long-winded, but, gold's got upside. It's got upside.
Yeah, I agree. But seems people in crypto love Dash over gold by a landslide, and they have chosen Dash. Now let's check the comments and see why people chose Dash. Okay, let's see what people had to say. Okay, people are talking about silver. Gold is better. Did you just say Dash long-term? Well, I mean, I think long-term as an altcoin, Dash has higher potential for growth.
Yeah, Dash is good long-term. It's just something nice to have in your portfolio, I think.
Some of these people are actually picking other coins. Some people, just a little turkey saying gold is so outdated. Yeah, I mean, gold has been around for a while, but you also have to factor that in, that people who are in fiat, which is also outdated, are losing money and actually better off in gold. And Bitcoin and crypto is really the new digital gold. Okay, Dash was Tika Tiwari's #1 pick of 6 catch-up coins. Okay, interesting. All right, so there we go. The people have spoken. Dash has won crypto showdown.
Wow. Well, I'm okay with that because, like I said, I think you got to be holding some Dash in your portfolio.
All right. Okay, let's go on to the next segment. Okay, so time for our Bitcoin predictions, because this is something people always ask on the show.
Okay.
Question of the day: where do you think Bitcoin price will go next? $20,000 and beyond, or will it stay at somewhere near 16K, or will it be pulled back to 13K, or none of the above? So basically, the options are 20,000 and beyond, 16K, 13K, or none. So tell us what you think. Go to menti.com, menti.com. Use the code 1065965. That's 1065965 to put in your Bitcoin prediction. Okay, wow. So far people think Bitcoin's coming back down to 13K. All right, very interesting, very interesting. And actually, prior to having Bill give us the answer, let's just take a look and see what Tokenmetrics has to say here. So let's go to our Bitcoin price prediction. Okay, so if you just go to Tokenmetrics, just search for Bitcoin, go to price prediction. Let's see where the models have Bitcoin being. Okay, looks like some of our customers are watching the live stream. So our models have Bitcoin going from basically 15,400 and hovering around 14,600. So basically between 15 and 14K. So the models don't really see a crash per se, but they aren't expecting Bitcoin to blow off the top and go to 20K just yet. Bill, what does the TA tell us?
Okay. I actually concur with the computer models. Okay. In other words, let's go back to, let me pull this up. Okay. So here's your Bitcoin futures chart, right? Now we have a head and shoulders bottom and my target is 16,900. Okay. Now I think that we're entering a stealth alt season. right? Like when does alt season begin? Well, just like the launch of token metrics, when no one expects it. No one expects it. So I think Bitcoin could go to 16,900 and fall into a range between, I don't know, 16.9 and 15.5. While altcoins smoke higher. And then Bitcoin is able to build up steam for 20K. So let's talk about this differently, right? Bitcoin isn't going to act like it did in 2017. Okay. In other words, I know everybody wants this. Everybody wants this. Like this type of like insane parabola to the upside. I don't think that kind of price action is sustainable. I think it's more bullish, right? If Bitcoin kind of maybe breaks this yellow line and comes in here. Wait. If Bitcoin kind of goes and does this. Okay. Because that's what it'll do if we're going to have this massive long-term sustained uptrend. I think one of the things that people don't understand about what's going on in Bitcoin is that computer algorithms that buy things for corporates, hedge funds, okay, corporates meaning corporations like MicroStrategy or PayPal, they're just siphoning the Bitcoin out of the market, okay? When you have those algorithms at work, you get a different sort of price action. You get up, sideways, mini dip, up. Everybody wants a dip to 13,000. I think if you get a dip to 13,000, it'll be so scary, no one will buy it. It'll last like one day and it'll just scare everyone. I think it's more likely that Bitcoin, has another Thursday thrust to 17 and then finds a range. And that's when alts can take off. So my answer would be hang around 16.
Okay, all right. So let's head back to question of the day. Wow, so a lot of people expecting Bitcoin to go back to 13K. 13K is the winner, followed by the Moon Boys and girls, 20K and beyond. Then followed by somewhere around 16K, and then none of the above. All right, so thank you for participating. Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Let's go into the next segment. Okay, all right, so today we won't be taking any voicemails, but if you do have any voicemails you want to submit in the future for crypto therapy, call us toll free. That's 1-888-90-TOKEN. That's 1-888-908-6536 to submit your questions. Any question you have on cryptocurrencies you want us to answer on the show. Obviously not financial advice. However, we do want to help our crypto family out there. Any questions you have, send them in. Just leave the voicemail, okay? Okay, all right, so here comes a question from the Tokenmetrics forum. So we haven't been covering the forum too much. I want to get that attention again. So we do have a forum. So when we don't have the show, you can continue to talk amongst our crypto family by going to forum.tokenmetrics.com. That's forum.tokenmetrics.com. Our team does try to go there and answer questions, but we also have other people in the community who can help answer questions. We're trying to make this more active, especially now that Bitcoin is rallying. And I would say 2020 has been a great year for crypto. Right? Despite what's happening globally and the economy, crypto has had a great year, and next year is going to be even bigger, in our opinion. So let's get the dialogue happening outside the show. So from the comments, we can migrate that over to the forum. Okay, so one question from the forum. Okay, let me. Okay, so the question is, what's your favorite DeFi platform and why? Okay, I mean, I love them all. But if I had to choose one, I would say Uniswap. I mean, because that's the one I use the most. I would say Uniswap and maybe 1H Exchange. But those are my favorite ones. I mean, so I have Uni tokens from the retroactive airdrop. I haven't sold any. I don't even check the price. To me, it's part of my long-term stash. I'm going to have my Uni tokens that I expect to have several years down the road when Uni has blown up, because we think fundamentally Uni is a great project. Fundamentals, the code and everything, go to the site. We do have a full review on Uniswap available. And it's one of the most, if not the most used dApps in all of crypto. So the fact that they also have all these new things that are coming with version 3 and with Ethereum scaling, to me, it's a no-brainer that this is going to be a win long term. So I don't really plan on selling this. Bill, what's your favorite DeFi application?
Well, I would say Uniswap and Yearn, only because more Uniswap, because they seem to be, they're almost like the winner take all. They're like kind of becoming the big boy on the block. The other way I figure out who the best DeFi platform was, I just want to show token metrics here. I like following our day trader index, our portfolio. So we actually have functionality on here where every day, okay, the artificial intelligence will give us a new portfolio, right? And guess who's been there every day for like a week and a half, since $1.50? That's right, Uniswap. Okay. When our AI went to Uniswap like 2 or 3 days before it bottomed, I started tracking this. Okay. So what do I think? Well, probably Uniswap. More importantly, what does our artificial intelligence think? Uniswap. Okay. Because check it out. It's still there. So, yeah, it went from 1 to 4. So that's a great trading move, but I think our AI made the vote for us.
Okay, all right. So thank you, Bill. So speaking of AI, let me see if I want to give a quick preview of the new AI that we're launching that we think is about to transform all of crypto. Because the fact that we're now taking the old AI and creating a new AI. I mean, for anybody who's seen Westworld, there's a show where they kind of have like levels to AI. So like the old AIs, they basically kind of put them in the warehouse, then they launch this new AI. So I feel like we're kind of doing that with Tokenmetrics. Like we're getting the old AI and phasing it out for this new super AI. And we think this is going to be big. So let me just kind of see if I can give a preview here without exposing too much. Okay, so this is, sorry, just give me 1 second. So this is the yearly portfolio based on our AI. So this is the quant grade. Now, once again, this is very brand new, experimental, hasn't launched yet. We plan to launch this before Thanksgiving is the goal. So basically this month. I know we've been saying that for a while, but now things are pretty much good to go. We just have 1 more week of development and testing, and then we expect to put this out in the hands of all our customers. Okay, so this is the yearly portfolio for Quant as of today. So basically, if you had to go and buy a portfolio, actually, sorry, not a portfolio, but in terms of what are the top coins right now. Now, this is with no human input, just based on performance metrics. So we take 54 performance metrics such as Sharpe ratio, max drawdown. But this is why this is so powerful and cool, right? So out of a score of 100, these are the scores. So we have 1, synthetic network token, 2, Quark chain, surprisingly, 3, Lightning Bitcoin. Okay, hadn't even heard of this. I didn't know this was a cryptocurrency or token. Then we have Paxos, basically stablecoin, Theta. There's been a lot of attention about Theta recently. I think it's been one of the better performing coins, but the quant grade picked this up. Then we have US dollar, basically saying stablecoins, Bitcoin, True USD. I know Diego would like this. REN, Digix DAO, Tether, Loopring, FTX. Interesting. Ethereum is not really in the top. Okay, so if we go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have basically 30% is in stablecoins. We have Bitcoin, REN, Digix DAO, Synthetics. Now this is basically the 1 year portfolio. So 1 year, what portfolio would it have? This is basically it. Now, this does not show the allocations, but we will be creating an index for every quant grade that we have. I mean, for every time horizon. So there'll be a quant grade for monthly, quarterly, and annually, because quant grade is kind of more of a long-term investor approach. Then we'll also be launching a different trader grade just for short-term trading, basically daily, weekly, and monthly. But yeah, this is basically it. Now let's switch time horizons. So give me a second here. So let's say you want to just trade for, let me see. Okay, yeah. So let's say you want to trade just for 3 months quarterly. This is what it would look like. So as opposed to holding for 12 months, you want to hodl for just 3 months. So we have Aave, P Network, Ether Party. Yeah, so the rest aren't really so good, and based on the scores. Basically, Aave and P Network are the ones that have high scores at the moment. But let's switch this to monthly, because I think monthly is basically saying there isn't really much to hodl for 3 months. Okay, all right. So give me a second here. Sorry. Okay, so if you're building a portfolio for a month, these are the top ratings. Aave. Now Aave did launch their new token. They had a rebrand for the pivoted from Lend to Aave. They launched this on a testnet, I believe, and our models picked that up. Then Hex Hex has been getting a bunch of love, even despite all the, I would say, the scandals it gets publicly. As a trade, 1 month trade, our models love Hex, and it has been performing well. Third chain, Kunos, Paxos stablecoin, P Network, stablecoin, stablecoin, stablecoin. So basically, it has stablecoins and Hex and Aave and P Network. So, but the cool thing about this is why I was telling people the quant grade is a game changer. So this is the part actually where I'd probably pay attention the most. So our models go through 54 data points, and the AI tries to predict what data points is the best at predicting ROI returns over a 1 month time frame, because this is basically a 30-day grade. And on a scale of 0 to 1, with 1 meaning this has the best predictive factor, data points that matter the most are beta at 0.96. Then we have wins in a quarter, 0.88. Ulster index, 0.92. The worst year return, 0.94, basically the worst year it's had. Then what else? We have payoff ratio, 0.83. Expected shortfall, basically CVAR, 0.94. Daily value at risk, 0.95. And that's basically it. So our AI is calculating all these different predictive factors every single day. So as they change and it finds something more superior, it will go through and update that. Then it rates all the cryptocurrencies in our system automatically to find out which ones matter the most. Now, these are metrics that typically are used by quants. So basically, these metrics are typically reserved for the top 1%, for hedge funds, for quant funds. And we're getting these same metrics and making them accessible to retail investors and traders at a fraction of the cost. So to us, this is how we really kind of fulfill our vision of true economic empowerment and helping everybody make money in crypto. Bill, any comments on the quant grade?
Absolutely. What is a credible sales pitch in the crypto universe? Well, let me make my attempt. Obviously, I'm over the age of 30. Okay. And I come from a different background, charts, subjective analysis, information synthesis done by an analyst with me or other analysts on a team. Now, at Token Metrics, I do and participate in a lot of different meetings, and I participate in the quant and machine learning meetings. And every single time I listen to these guys and our leader, Ian, talk about how this is working, what the latest idea is, all the new things going into the trader grade, I go, this is unbelievable. I got to get on the live stream and tell people, you know what? I know people don't have a lot of money, but if you got to give up Starbucks for 2 months to get this between now and, say, the presidential inauguration, do it. Do it. Because Token Metrics is going to give you things that are going to be worth way more than whatever else you're spending your money on, because they're putting hedge fund analytics in a retail platform, right? I mean, and I watch these machine learning guys and Ian, who, remember, used to work for, the IBM Watson team. Okay. These are smart people, and you want them on your side in crypto, right? Because what's the most powerful combination is any analyst or any research you do and a whole quant team rolled up into a subscription membership. So give us a shot.
All right. Great words, Bill. So, I mean, Black Friday is coming, Cyber Monday is coming. We'll definitely have a nice deal to our crypto family to celebrate our 1-year birthday anniversary. So stay tuned. Timeline for launching the new grades is before Black Thursday. So we definitely want to make sure everything is launched so that when we put out the nice discount, everybody can join and we all go to the moon and beyond in 2021 as crypto and everybody just blows up. Okay, with that being said, let me check the comments and see how we're doing. Tokenmetrics is fantastic. The future. Thank you, MJ. When is Tokenmetrics going public? I mean, time frame is typically 5 to 7 years. So it's only been 1 year. It's only been year one. So we still have a long way to go, but we definitely do appreciate all the support. Okay, how will the new quant information differ between the hodler, investor, and professional accounts, please? So good question. So everything will likely be the same. So basically, professional has unlimited access. Investor gives you the top 100 market cap, while hodler gives you the top 20. Now, one other feature we plan to add is adding alerts. So we plan to add email and SMS text messaging alerts. So email alerts will be for investor plan, and professional plan will get SMS and text alerts. So meaning that you can customize alerts for the quant grades, for the price predictions, for basically anything to get a text message or email. Because text message costs money, that's why we've made it mainly for professional users, because especially if we're sending text messages globally, international SMS is still expensive for some reason because of, I guess, phone companies haven't been fully disrupted just yet. But we think by adding alerts and adding fully automated quant grade, this is going to be a game changer, because now you could be anywhere in the world and we'll tell you what's going to move, right? And I don't think anybody has really done that yet at this level of sophistication. Okay, happy Sunday. Thank you for the kind words. 2021 is going to be huge. Definitely agree. With that being said, if you're liking this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, share this with your friends. Let them know the future of Token Metrics. Let them know we'll be giving out a Black Friday, Cyber Monday celebration coupon on discount. So if they haven't yet joined the rocket ship, this is the last call, right? So otherwise, because I think like once we launch this and some other things, we may have to restructure a few things, but for the most part, we won't be doing any major changes until the asset allocator, which is kind of automating everything we're doing in terms of passive investing, right? We've kind of talked about that before. timeline for that is sometime next year. I would say Q1, Q2, but we think this is what people need to really get into crypto. Okay, all right. So let's continue with the show. We've been talking a lot. Okay, because I forgot we do have the AMA as well. Okay, so time for the AMA. Okay, so here's a good question. So between May and August, with the monthly index, we could have made 700%. Then September and October, you could have lost with altcoins. What's the right time to get back to the index again? Very, very good question. So I would say, honestly, the right time is once we launch the new grades, and we'll be launching new indices just for these new grades, because basically we've retooled our grading system. But as I showed before here, this new system will help you avoid losing a lot of money, because this system factors in stablecoins into everything, into the analysis, right? So basically cash, basically taking profits and going to cash. So as I showed here, so this is the, let me bring this up again. This is the Quant grade monthly. So if you see here, we have Aave, Hex, Thorchain, but we have Paxos, which is a stablecoin. We have TrueUSD, stablecoin, Tether, stablecoin. So we have 4 stablecoins in the top 10. So it's basically saying, assuming this was a evenly balanced portfolio, basically saying put 40% of your money to cash, take profit, right? So imagine having this level of insight in September when the market crashed. You would have saved a lot of money, right? So that's why we think that once we launch this is kind of trying to solve the holy grail of investing, making money in a bull market and preserving capital in a bear market during a correction. Now, I definitely don't want to say it's perfect, because nothing is perfect. Even AIs aren't perfect, but we think it's going to be very, very helpful to helping you preserve capital, because even some models we had, we were basically saying, put half the portfolio in stablecoins, buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the only altcoins you had were basically Chainlink and Hex. So it's kind of like very risky alts, safe plays, and all cash. Bill, your take on that question?
Yeah, it's amazing with our AI. So, if you've popped the hood on the new stuff and you are telling us that, that model likes stable coins, that seems to validate this thinking that I have, that you got to be ready for a flash event, right? So that's kind of what we do with Tokenmetrics, right? We'll have the AI do one thing in one compartment and me do it in another compartment, do analysis, and then we see what happens when you put them together. So this idea of having dry powder in case of an event is essentially being confirmed by the AI models, right? When does the next 700% move begin? Probably when no one thinks it ever could. Right? It's usually that simple. So if our AI is saying, hey, be careful, the fact of the matter is, somebody with Bitcoin at 16,000, between Bitcoin and stable coins, people are going to have a lot of money to spend on all coins. It's just a question of when, as the question said, wait for everybody to tell you crypto's dead and then jump in.
All right. Great answer. Thank you, Bill. Tell us what you think down in the comments below. All right. Back to the next question. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back here. Okay, it seems there's a lot of interest on the new Quant update we have. Okay, so with the new Quant update coming, when all the tokens are streamlined and graded without a single person marking it, have you considered increasing the investor plan to more than top 100 crypto? Okay. Yes, right. So question is basically, once we have the new quant grades, will we increase or make changes to the pricing and everything and the plan? That is something we're looking into, because currently with Tokenmetrics, we have about 300 coins. And if we launch this new grading system from the ground up, the quant grade and trader grade, and make it fully automated, our goal would be to get to 3,000 coins and to add new coins as they're being added. So if we do something like that, I think we'll definitely have to revisit the plan, right? Maybe give hodler plan more access and investor plan more access as well. And maybe professional would just get everything. So maybe like the 3,000 coins. Investor plan might get, I don't know, maybe top 500, right? While hodler might be top 100. So that's something our team can definitely look into. But we'll definitely keep you updated on that. But I would say initially there would be no change, but I would say maybe towards end of the year or maybe towards early next year, we might do a complete restructuring on the level of access. Because once we have more coins, I do agree it does make more sense to give everyone more access, right? That's kind of the Tokenmetrics way. All right, but thank you for that question. Okay, all right. Okay, here's a question. A very popular question. Okay. Should I sell my crypto now and buy back tomorrow when there's a dip? Okay, so I think let's just make this more general. So should you sell now and buy the dip, right? Or can you time the top and bottom, basically? Bill.
Okay, well, I'm flattered to be asked the question, but you know, my hour-to-hour crystal ball is in the shop. I would say that if you've got money on the table, what do we always say on the show? Like, what did we say all the way up in DeFi? You can never get fired taking profits. Okay, that's a Wall Street motto. The retail motto is fortunes are made by buying low and selling too early, meaning things rise and rise and rise and rise, and it's okay to get off the train and take your money. So with the mottos all out there, let me say it this way. If you're asking us if you should sell and take profits, you have already answered your own question. Taking profits is not a bad thing. Take them. All right. Now, is crypto going to get slammed tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a 2% slam or a 6% or 10% slam. I don't know. I do know that it's easier to buy dips after you've booked some profits. In other words, Ian's motto, as I've remembered from DeFi, is pay yourself. It's easier to buy the dip if you've taken some profits. So I guess the answer to the question is take some profits and be there for the dip, right? If crypto starts mooning again, it's so easy in crypto to just jump right on in when it's going up, right? It's a lot easier to do that than it is to try to catch the falling knife. To buy the dip, you got to be mentally strong. And the way to get mentally strong is to pay yourself.
Yeah, I mean, all solid points. So I'll just add to that by saying, if that's your plan, make sure you have a plan. So if you're planning to exit and buy the dip, have everything planned out. Obviously, nothing can always be 100% planned out, but I'm saying have an entry and exit point, because that's one thing I know traders always preach about is know your entry and exit points. Whether you have a stop loss, what have you, have everything planned out so that when it happens, you execute on it. Don't just say, I'm going to get out and buy tomorrow when I feel like it, depending on what the chart says. Right? Have an actual plan is what I would add. Now, Bill, let's say this person is at a loss on this trade. How would you, what would you do? Let's say they bought maybe an altcoin, is crashing, or let's say they bought Bitcoin and Bitcoin is correcting. Let's say they thought Bitcoin is going to 20K and they bought more, and then it dipped. What would you do if they're at a loss in this trade?
Okay, so if we're talking about trading where, you know, we're going to be in and out multiple times throughout the day or the week, okay? Or especially if you've bought an alt and it's crashed and you have a bag, okay? Frequently, I tell people to get rid of the bag and clear your head, particularly if you did something like you put all your eggs in one basket. If you made a mistake, clear out the mistake, because again, you got to clear your head, right? You're not too late and you're not too early. The time in crypto is now. Okay, it is now. So if you FOMO'd into Bitcoin and it dips on you, okay, make sure you have your stop loss, right? Make sure you at least manage risk.
All right. Yeah. Very true points. Thank you, Bill. So let's check in here with the audience and see what they have to say. Tell us what you think. Do you think it makes sense to sell and buy back tomorrow? Somebody says Bitcoin is for whales and margin traders only. Then somebody says at a loss, keep it in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, David says, yes, Bill, I agree. Clear your bag, but not all at once. All right. David says phase out. All right, cool. So keep those comments coming. Tell us what you think, and be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. Okay, all right. On to the next question from the AMA. All right, so what happens to Ethereum if it doesn't reach its staking target? Okay, very interesting question. So I did see this, I think, on Twitter or somewhere. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Ethereum staking. But basically, I mean, I'm no Ethereum staking expert, so I definitely don't want to say anything or misspeak. So, but my understanding is that basically people have to stake a particular amount of Ethereum by a particular date for kind of like everything to basically launch. So let me see. I think it might have been on Telegram. Okay, sorry. There's just so many things here. Bill, have you been hearing about this in terms of ETH staking?
Okay, I'm going to confess that every time I hear about ETH not making its staking target, even though I'm not a staking expert, I just say to myself, I don't want to hear any bad news about Ethereum. I don't want to hear that they can't get this 2.0 thing off the ground. We've been waiting so long for this. I just like, whatever the staking target is, please, the crypto gods, please just make it happen. Don't want to hear any bad news about 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, because right now I think it's Ethereum's race to lose. So if Ethereum is not able to achieve its goal, what does that say to Ethereum? I mean, maybe Ethereum is not as good as we all thought. Right? Definitely not something people want to think of, but it makes you think twice, especially with Polkadot clawing at the heels. I mean, I'm still bullish on Ethereum, but I mean, maybe I'm not sure how this would work, but maybe they would reduce the level of stake. Actually, I think in terms of staking, obviously you have to go through the Ethereum papers and stuff. But I believe that if they don't meet the goal now, it just pushes it back to some other date. So I don't think it's like a deal breaker per se, but it's obviously not the best endorsement. And if anybody is Ethereum staking expert, please do share down in the comments below. Okay, Matthew says people don't want to lock up ETH because if you stake now, it's locked for 2 years. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a very long time. And yeah, basically you have to lock up 32 Ethereum for 2 years. Jason says, is Polkadot the hedge against an ETH 2.0 failure? Wow, good question. Is Polkadot the hedge? I would say, in a way, yes, but Polkadot and Ethereum do kind of work together. I would say, if anything, Bitcoin is still the hedge. I would say Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Polkadot as hedges. In terms of other blockchains, maybe Cosmos, Tezos could be hedges. I mean, maybe even Cardano. Okay, Paul says 2 years, it's got a moon, 10K target. Dare says, Polkadot has its own value linking other currencies. Yes, it does. Okay, then just a little turkey says, plus Ethereum 2.0 is experimental, so you can lose your stake as a condition. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I mean, so basically there isn't really much incentive. I mean, I'm here telling people that I think Ethereum is going to surpass Bitcoin in market cap by 2030, and I'm not staking Ethereum. So I think the incentives are not quite there yet, especially considering they took forever to launch ETH 2.0, and this is just phase 0, keyword 0, meaning that it's not even phase 1 yet. It's still very early, still very experimental. So, I mean, if anything, you basically have to be a whale who has 32 ETH you can just lock up for 2 years and not look at it. Especially now that we have DeFi and yield farming, because people could, I mean, because last time I checked on staking rewards, the ROI on ETH staking was like 6%. I think the projected ROI. Let me see if I can pull that up here. And I'm not even sure how accurate this is. So you're basically asking people to lock up their Ethereum for 2 years to get about 5.26%. I mean, I think people are willing to double in DeFi, degen for a few months for 100x the returns, than locking up their ETH, unless you have Ethereum as a long-term stash that you don't plan to touch. But even then, I think you can get better returns with even just yield farming ETH. I mean, I haven't looked into the returns to compare, but I think that might make more sense. Bill, what's your take on this?
Okay, well, my first take is to restate the obvious that it's my hope that the guys who are running ETH 2.0 can have their act together. I will share my screen if I can, and
Yeah.
I will show you something that we talked about, many streams ago that I think is real interesting. Okay. This is Kusama. Okay. Now, what is Kusama as I understand it? I understand it as like the Litecoin of Polkadot. It's like a Polkadot clone, but it's actually functioning. Right? So when somebody told me about this, I was like, wait, let me get this straight. This is Polkadot online running more or less. And I think in someone's portfolio, particularly since this, as of November 15th, okay, it seems to be in an area where, I don't know, it's like a make it or break it line, right? If it's going to go up, it's going to hold and go up. And if it's going to go down, it'll fall below it and slump lower. So we're at like a pivot zone. I think if there's a hedge against, I don't know, a DeFi blow up or a failure with ETH 2.0, call me crazy. I guess you can, because I'm the one who talks about Litecoin every now and then. But, Kusama's operational, as I understand it. Operational Polkadot, if the world melted.
Yeah. I mean, Kusama has definitely been very popular, and people have made a good amount of money on it. Now, I mean, I'm not sure if I would have both Kusama and Polkadot, because I would expect maybe the correlation to be similar, where you can probably just pick one, right? And yeah, as James says, Kusama is the canary network for Polkadot. It's kind of like the test net for Polkadot, right? So everything experimental happens there. And it's also its own network. But then Polkadot is kind of like where, if you need something that's more secure, you can launch those dApps on Polkadot's chain. Okay, sorry. So let me bring up this article here from CoinDesk on ETH 2.0. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was looking for. So the contract must collect 16,384 deposits of 32 ETH each. So basically a total of 524,288 ETH. Well, basically $200 million has to be locked up to launch Ethereum. Right, the required sum must be collected at least 7 days before the expected launch date of December 1st. If it is not, the launch is delayed to 7 days after the threshold is reached. Okay, so basically $200 million has to be locked up in ETH. And if it's not done by this date, then whenever the date happens, whenever that amount is reached, we have to wait 1 week and then it will launch. So very, very interesting. Now, so what can people do? I mean, I think we all know that we can all anticipate that we'll eventually hit this number of 200 million, but I think it's going to be well as they get us there, because I don't really know people. I mean, unless they're the pools. I know people mentioned Rocket Pool and some others and Anchor. Maybe that could be a way. So maybe, if anything, the hedge could be those projects like Anchor, and I think Rocket Pool might have a token. Now, we've not looked into their token, if they do have one. Let me take a look. But I would say that the hedge would be Bitcoin, Polkadot, and other blockchains. But the other hedge could be those staking providers. Because Anchor, our team did look into it. It does have decent technology, and the code review is available on our platform. Okay, all right. So tell us what you think. What would you use as a hedge for ETH, for a potential ETH 2.0 failure? Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, somebody says 92,960 ETH already staked and counting. And we need to reach 524,000. Yes, I mean, that seems like we're a long way from there. Somebody said use Hex as a hedge. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, the Quant grade does back it up. I mean, but I would say if you're going to put money into Hex, treat it as a trade. I mean, it's a nice hedge because it has no correlation, but treat it as a hedge because it's a very risky asset. Let's just leave it as that, right? Because one thing you have to kind of understand is sometimes when we say this is a good hedge or trade, right? We're not endorsing something long term. We're not saying put your life savings in it for 5 years. We're saying for the next month or so, it could be a good trade and make you money. Kind of like as we talked about earlier with XRP and Ripple. Fundamentally, we don't think Ripple is a good project. However, if the TA or the AI tells us, hey, for the next month or two, this can make money as a trade, then we look at it, right? So what I'm trying to say is don't confuse fundamentals with trading, right? Because the two are kind of different. Bill, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I remember our Hex show, and I listened to the guest, and it kind of made my skin crawl. However, again, as you've noted, the way that thing trades, it has a natural rhythm to it. And as another guest we had on said, it doesn't matter what you think of the guy, they've got marketing. People listen to him. I mean, we're talking about the coin on every show. Somebody brings it up. So he can get people's attention. And, when it goes up, it really goes up. So that's all I'll say on Hex.
All right. And tell us what you think down in the comments below. What cryptocurrency would you use as a hedge to ETH 2.0, taking a while to launch? Okay, so I think we kind of covered this today, but I mean, maybe we can quickly cover this again. So thoughts on XRP near and long term? Is $10 USD XRP at the peak of the next bull run possible? Thanks. Bill, have you looked at the long-term viability of XRP?
Well, in short, I have not. Okay. Let me pull up what I did on the PowerPoint earlier. All right, hang on. Okay, so my bottom line on Ripple was this. We do a 3-hour TV show every week, and I'm always looking for something new to say, honestly. Here's the deal with Ripple. everybody thinks central bank digital currencies are a good idea. Well, that's really interesting because the last thing I knew or heard, centralized was the F word in crypto. So if centralized is no longer the F word in crypto and people are looking for fast alternative payment methods, then Ripple went from being like something you couldn't even talk about in public to something that you might want to talk about. The TA looks okay. It's got a couple green candles. It's trading fairly well here by the black arrow. And, if Ripple ever took out 30 cents, there's plenty of case for it to go to 50 cents or 60, right? And then, of course, we all know in crypto that, anything that could make Ripple go from, I don't know where it is now to a 1X could make it do a 3X. Is it going to go to $10? I don't think I have enough information or enough belief in that particular chart to say $10. But again, if there was ever a catalyst, if there was ever a time maybe for Ripple, it's now. Because again, anybody who thinks a centralized currency by a government is okay, a government, really? Then a centralized currency issued by a private sector should be by rule okay. So, I'm sure the Ripple army is pretty depressed because, they got chased out of town by, like, say, the Link Marines in terms of popularity. But, when do you want to buy stuff? When no one's talking about it and everyone hates it. So I'm like, okay, let's talk about Ripple. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So tell us what you think about XRP down in the comments below. Are you bullish, bearish? Curious to know. All right. So next question. Any gems the Token Metrics team has their eyes on in terms of going shopping? Ren, Matic, anything else interesting or exciting? Okay, so basically, what cryptocurrencies are we looking to buy? So I'll just kind of go through what I currently hold. I have Helium Network. I mined that and I bought some on exchanges. I have Matic Network, bought that. I've been staking that, haven't looked at it. That's some long-term capital gains treatment for me. So not planning to look at that for the next year. I have Ethereum. As a trade, I had Synthetics and Reserve. I had some, what was it? Actually, this is how much I don't check my portfolio anymore. I have to get to my disclosures page to see what else I hold. But just give me a few seconds here. Uniswap, yeah. So I have that long term. I have some sushi from yield farming. I have some Elof. I have some Chromia. I still have some of that. And those are the main ones. In terms of what I'm looking to possibly get, I think eventually I will get some Polkadot. I haven't gotten around to that because I've just only been dabbling in DeFi. If anything's on a centralized exchange, I haven't been wanting to go there and buy it and then try to store it on my ledger or see if they have their own blockchain wallet and all that stuff. So basically the hassle of doing that. Now on the positive side, at Tokenmetrics, when we launched the new grades, we're also planning to, based on Bill's input, creating specific indices targeting exchanges. This is something lots of customers have been telling us as well. So meaning that the plan is we can create a quant grade just for Coinbase coins, or a quant grade just for Binance coins, or a quant grade just for Uniswap coins, so that it becomes a lot easier for you to buy these coins and sell them because everything is on the same exchange, as opposed to having to go on 10 different exchanges to buy all these coins. So that's something we think our customers would love and will make things a lot easier. While it might not be the perfect portfolio, it will be the most convenient portfolio while still being efficient. So Bill, any comments on that?
Sure, plenty. Okay, so what's on the shopping list? Okay. I like ETH because the higher Bitcoin goes, the more people are going to be looking for, okay, gold's too expensive. So what's the silver in everyone's mind? So there's ETH, and I'm even looking at your Dash, your Zcash, your Litecoin, and your Bitcoin Cash. Okay. In other words, cryptocurrencies. Like Dash is a cryptocurrency used at Kentucky Fried Chicken in Venezuela, as an example.
Oh, wow.
So,
Really?
yes. Yeah. I remember seeing an article a long time ago
Man.
that Dash was being accepted at retailers in Venezuela. You know, I don't have the article in front of me, but I that's how I remembered learning or wanting to learn about Dash, that everybody in Venezuela was mining it. You know, it's rumor, it's fact. I'm interested, particularly since our current AI likes Dash in a lot of its longer term portfolios. So again, not shilling Dash, but I'm interested in ETH, Litecoin, you know, your Zcash, Moneros, anything that can be used as money. Okay, because the replacement for the euro, the yen, the dollar, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, the Russian ruble, etc., isn't going to be just Bitcoin. Okay. So there are two different types of altcoins in my mind. One of them is the group I just mentioned. Those are the alternative monies. And then there's Ren. Now, I watched, you know, there are all these quality coins. You know, there's Aave, there's Kava that got kind of hammered. You know, a lot of these coins thrive on, you know, the speculative lending juices in the market. Okay, I know Aave had a big move. I know everyone just chased government tokens, governance tokens. Sorry, you know, Yearn and Uni just, you know, I don't know, 3x'd from their bottoms, 2x'd. But you know what, folks? Somebody on our team, I sat down with that person across the table and I said, dude, what's Ren? Like, what is it? I know you're into it, but explain it to me. And essentially, he told me it was a tollway between blockchains. So it was all this, like, all these wrapped coins, like, you know, Ren can do wrapped Bitcoin. I'm sorry. It can do Ren BTC, you know, and Ren can communicate between Bitcoin and Ethereum blockchains. It communicate between Zcash, right, and Ethereum. Okay. And then he told me, and this was when I was like, the answer to this person's question came up. He told me it was going to be the shuttle bus between Polkadot and Ethereum. And when I heard that, I basically went home and I said, every time Ren, you know, every time they smash it, I'm just going to keep taking a little bit. I'm going to do the unthinkable in crypto, which is dollar cost average, right? Everyone, we tell everyone in crypto, you know, don't dollar cost average because alts can go way up and then go to zero. Okay. With Ren, I'm taking kind of a bet that the day that people figure it out, because it's not easy to figure out what it is. So that's why I've got it. Now, again, I own it. So I don't want to overshill it, but I just think that in equities, right, old fashioned 1990s type stuff, investing was about the story, right? It was back in the tech days, right? Like, hey, there's this company called Amazon that's going to sell books online. Ooh, that's interesting. What a good story. And I think one of the good stories in DeFi is Ren, right? So, I mean, that's one of the things I'm looking at. And then I think anything in that universe that is Polkadot related, like Polkadot, Kusama, you know, Ren may go along in that group as something that, you know, that's what's next, because there's going to be more than one DeFi highway. As a matter of fact, I know it's time for more Bill Crazy talk, but don't be surprised to see central banks and governments and corporations want to participate in DeFi. Right now, DeFi is like, you know, it's like a 1-lane road. I don't know, maybe Uniswap and a couple other players, but DeFi is going to be, it's going to be like a roadway across the world. So you want to be in the DeFi infrastructure. Governance tokens, yes, okay. But what's the infrastructure, right? ETH, Polkadot, Ren, and I'm sure there are others. So I want cryptocurrencies, currencies, and infrastructure.
Great points there, Bill. Great points. So I just want to add on to that. So in terms of what other coins I'm looking to get, honestly, I'm waiting for us to launch the Quant grade and everything, launch the new indices, and I'll just be getting what's in the indices. And right now, looking at this, one of the coins Bill just mentioned, this is the long-term annual index. Ren is in here with a grade of 90. Now, mind you, this does change daily, right? However, for the yearly, it changes less often, right? But basically, it's saying it's also bullish on Ren, Bitcoin, Theta, Synthetics. Correct Chain did this one, I'm still not sure about because I thought that was dead. But for some reason, maybe there's something happening there. But yeah, I mean, so I think whatever the index has is what I'll be getting, whatever time frame I'm in. So whether we're doing an index specifically for DeFi or Uniswap, maybe I'll just buy the top 10 in there. Or maybe if we have one on, I would say probably I'll just buy whatever is on Uniswap top 10 index that we launch, because I don't like centralized exchanges anymore. I only use them to cash out in crypto. But Ren is a good pick according to the Quant rate as of now. Maybe even PAX Gold, because PAX Gold has been pretty consistent in the indices, almost as a hedge. So I think I might be getting that in the future if the indices keep on recommending that. But tell us what you think. What coins would you get? What coins are you very bullish on? Tell us down below. Do you know any hidden gems that we haven't covered? Curious to discover them. All right, let's get back to the show. Okay, this is a good question for Bill. We had 6 weekly green candles. Is it possible to have 40 to 60% drop this week? Oh man, I mean, where is this coming from?
All right. Well, are we talking about Bitcoin? Let me go to the weekly chart and check.
I think the person is talking about the whole market, kind of like basically Black Thursday, kind of like how we covered this early in the show.
Right. Okay. All right. So without going to a chart, let's try it this way. I learned my father used to bring this person's reports home. So the first big time professional technical analyst worked for Merrill Lynch. His name was Bob Farrell. Okay. My father was a stockbroker for Merrill Lynch, and he used to leave Bob Farrell's reports on his desk. And I used to read them when I was a kid. Okay. And Bob Farrell had a famous phrase: if everyone expects the same thing, something else happens. And I know there's a lot of people worried about the 40 to 60% decline. I think if it's going to happen, it's going to be like a flash event where it all goes down and comes back in the same day. That's if it happens, right? I think everybody wants to buy Bitcoin at 12,000. When everybody wants to buy Bitcoin at 12,000, it doesn't go there. It doesn't. So I'm not exactly looking for a 40 to 60% drop. I think it's more likely, because markets sometimes do what hurts the most people, is the market can go up, come back down a little bit, and then just sit there. Okay. Meaning, it puts people who want to put money to work in a position where they've got to buy it near the high and live with the fear of the 40% dip. I call that the knife experience, right? Like everybody's afraid of that past scarring event repeating itself. Okay. And sometimes that can lead to a much bigger long-term bull market. All right. Stocks are a great example. I mean, everybody thought stocks were going to crash in 2010, 2011. I think there was an event maybe in 2017, 16 when Trump was elected, right? And then equities did nothing but go up because the crash was right around the corner. So I would make a difference in your mind between a sharp dip where you would want to get involved if you had the money versus fear of something that's already happened. The reason it went down 40% the last time is because no one expected that. No one expected the virus to have that big of an impact, and nobody expected crypto to trade that way. So when everyone expects or is afraid of the same thing, it doesn't happen.
Great points there, Bill. Now, could you maybe speak on to possibly using put options as a hedge for any downside risk? So actually here, let me pull this up here. Not to get too technical with our audience, but our team has also been working, basically our quant team has been working on leveraging put options as a way to basically buy insurance on any downside risk. That's kind of what put options are. So without having to sell your assets, you can basically pay premium to somebody in the market. So the platform we've been looking into a lot is opyn.co. This is basically the centralized way to buy options on Ethereum. And the cool thing is, these are the assets they have available. So they have Ethereum, they have Uni, and they have WBTC. So basically Bitcoin and YFI. So for example, let's say you want to hedge against Bitcoin, right? So this basically says when Bitcoin goes down to 14,000, you basically have the ability to sell at this current price. Bill, so what's kind of your take on using options as insurance or as a hedge?
Okay. So this is a great question, right? Now, let's begin with something somewhat sarcastic. The Wall Street definition of a hedge is something that little doggies pee on. Okay. Now, why is that a saying? Because hedging can be really difficult. All right. So for example, on that screen, you got to pay something like $200 for an option. Okay. That means something that will rise in value as Bitcoin falls. Okay. Now, the best time to buy a put option is when everybody is rosy and shiny and happy and it's going up forever, like last Thursday, right? Bitcoin's at 16,500 and it's going to 25,000 tomorrow, and I'm buying a Lambo on Monday. That's when you buy put options. Okay. You do not necessarily buy put options after the market's gone down or people get a little shaken up, like say tonight. Because out there in the options world, there are advanced players who they're called volatility players. And they mainly make their money by selling options. Okay. Because most options go to zero. Honestly, most of them do. And frequently institutions feed on retail chasing options at the wrong time. So options are great. Okay. Particularly like say, I only wanted to risk this much amount of money to see if Bitcoin can go way up. But if it crashes 50%, I only lose this much on a call option. Okay. Now that's an interesting strategy. I don't know if it makes sense, but I know that chasing options can get you in trouble when you're buying them. You want to buy to protect yourself when everyone thinks everything is fine. And call options, which do the opposite, right? They allow you to benefit when things go up. You buy call options when the market's getting killed, all right? But if every time the market goes down, you go, oh my God, I have to buy a put option, or every time the market goes up and you FOMO and go, oh my God, I have to buy a call, you're going to wind up losing money because the sharks are out there looking for, they're looking for people FOMOing into options. So options are super useful. I think particularly if you're kind of a whale or or even if you're not a whale and you absolutely do not want to sell, like options may become very popular if capital gains taxes change and nobody wants to sell. Okay. That's just a fact. So, but no FOMOing in options. No.
Well said, well said. So we'll definitely keep our audience updated on our way on how to possibly leverage options as a hedge in the future. I'd say timeline for that is probably next year. So it's still kind of away, it's still kind of far away, but we definitely do think it could be a viable option. Now, somebody mentioned the options sound complicated or advanced. So our team will work on how to make that very, very simple, right? So I don't have anything to show now, but the idea is we'll be kind of like with our indices, we'll basically say if you do want to possibly hedge the indices, this is what you'll get, right? But basically, to simply put it, we're taking the indices and we're measuring the correlation. And we can notice that, for example, most of our indices are, even though they have lots of altcoins, they're highly correlated with Ethereum. So you could use ETH options as a possible hedge by basically buying insurance on any downside risk. But you have to kind of know how many options to buy, the quantity, the amount. So our quant team is working on doing all that calculation, and we'll make it very easy for everyone to see. So we'll keep you posted on that. But the goal of that is to help you keep money and make money when the market goes down, right? Because that's the holy goal of investing, making money when it's up and making money when it's down. And being able to give that to retail traders and investors, we think will be huge for the space. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. Okay, what are the most promising projects on Polkadot? Okay, all right, very, very good question. Now, honestly, I am not a Polkadot expert. Right now, I've been working kind of heads down on the Quant with our team. But the projects that do come to mind, one we did speak with the CEO a while back was PolkaSwap. They're basically building Uniswap on Polkadot. So just based on the use case, and it's a team from Sora, XOR, which has, at one point, I think it was a 50x return to people who got in. I missed that one, but PolkaSwap, let me see if I can pull up their website here. And I believe they did publish some information regarding their token. I think it's only, so I believe their token will only be given to people who provide liquidity or who vote for them for a parent chain, I believe, when I spoke to somebody on our team regarding this. But this is pretty much the one of the few projects I have on my radar. I did see there was a Polkadot blog post I had in my to read list. Let me see if I can get that. Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Bill, do you have any Polkadot projects on your radar?
Honestly, no. And I've already probably said too much about it, but you know, if Ren is in fact the way, is the shuttle bus between Polkadot and Ethereum. In other words, I don't want to own the airport, but I want to own the shuttle. So that's how I think you can play Polkadot.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of a hedge. Now, looks like the blog post they had for DeFi got taken down. Huh. I'm not sure why that was taken down. But maybe if somebody has the link, they could find us, because there was a blog post here on their blog regarding DeFi and projects building on Polkadot using DeFi. Because if I go to, it says deleted by the author. So, I mean, was that too early or something? Okay, let me see if I can find, actually, is there a saved version? That would be good if there is. Okay, thank you, Wayback Machine. Okay, so DeFi on Polkadot. If this can load. Okay, I guess it cannot load. Okay, I guess we won't be able to. Let me just try again. Okay, hold on, sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, Diego's telling me Akala. Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing a lot about Akala, but I haven't really looked too much into it myself. But I do know that seems to be one of the more popular projects. Let me Let me pull that up here. Akala network. That has seemed to be getting a lot of hype around it. It seems to be kind of, my understanding is it's kind of like the Make It DAO and lending for Polkadot. But there was, yeah, I mean, I think that's probably all I can say. I'm definitely not the DeFi or Polkadot expert. I mean, I don't even have Polkadot yet. But there were a few posts that we were looking at. Let me see if I can get some others. Because Polkadot DeFi. Okay, so wow, seems they took down everything with DeFi on Polkadot. Is there an issue or something they have with DeFi? Did something happen that I missed? All the DeFi links on their site are down. But anyway, yeah, I think that's basically it, unfortunately. But if anybody has any, I mean, I've heard of Mantra DAO. I think our team did score that, but I don't think it scored too high, unfortunately. And we did look into a few others. I think even Rio DeFi, those didn't really do well, if I recall. But Akala might be one. So I would say PocoSwap and Akala is it on my end. But if anybody in our team or in our community has anything they want to share, let us know down in the comments below.
Okay, I think I found the chart.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this is Akala on Uniswap. All right.
Oh man, sorry, excuse me.
Really, really interesting here. Let me just fix this for a second. As you like to say, well, I don't know. I typed it into Coin Signal, and this gave me Akala USD. Okay,
that's good.
All right, it's not trading yet, so we won't talk about that. That must be some sort of different chart. Okay. Okay, again, back to my original answer, DeFi on Polkadot, I'm doing Ren.
Ren. Okay, all right. Yeah, Akala is not trading yet. Okay, but that's crypto for you, right?
Right, that is right.
Okay, but that's good. People know that Akala is not trading, so I mean, I'm pretty sure some people got those tokens thinking it was the actual Akala. Okay, all right. So here's a question. I think we've kind of answered this question before in the past, but it always does come up. So let's ask this again. Okay, how do I get a job or internship at Tokenmetrics? I just want to be in the same room when all these interesting crypto conversations are being had. I can get you guys coffee and crack jokes. Thank you for the interest. So I would say, so we do take on interns probably every quarter, every 3 to 6 months. So some of the quants on our team began as interns. Some of the investment analysts on our team began as interns. We have interns for pretty much every role. Now, because we're a small company and we're still growing up, we don't have really money to be giving interns paid jobs, but people who do have interests, we do kind of get them roles or ways to just kind of work with us and then kind of see how good they are and then possibly give them paid work down the road, right? Best way is to just email us. So email me or our team info, at tokenmetrics.com. Okay, send us your resume. And then if it's a good fit, we'll get back in touch with you, probably do a phone screen via Zoom, then probably give you a skills challenge or test. It depends on the role. Sorry, excuse me, man. Sorry. But basically, depending on the role, if it's something very technical, we'll give you, let's say it's developing or being a quant, we'll give you like about an hour to 2 hour long test that tests for those skills to make sure you're actually competent in that. And then you also have interviews with me and our team. And then from there, we'll bring you on board. We'll kind of mentor you, coach you, and then maybe even down the road, bring you on board with the team. So we think it's the best internship in all of crypto. So if you're talented and skilled, I would say the roles we're actively recruiting for right now, one is business development. So people who can help us with our Tokenmetrics, I would say Alliance, Tokenmetrics affiliate program, Tokenmetrics investor outreach. So if you have any business skills, or if you're basically in a business major, email us your resume and our team will go through, because that one we are actively interviewing for. Then I would say even the quant role, right? We're about to graduate our newest interns who've been with us for about 2.5 to 3 months. So most of them will be graduating or finishing up in December. So I would say by December, we hope to bring in our new class. Now it is pretty competitive. For example, most of the quants interns with us, one was doing a master's degree in operations research at Columbia University. I would say in general, most quants I would say they're in grad school, right? So just to kind of save people time, I would say be in grad school for the quant role or be doing amazing work. Like if you say, hey, Ian, I built my own trading bot that does X, Y, and Z, and these are the returns, and we're using AI or whatever. I mean, we'll take a meeting. So, I mean, there isn't like one size fits all. For example, we have a blockchain researcher with us. She's done a great job. She's actually doing a PhD. But we have taken a few interns who were, I would say, two were freshmen actually. They interned with us via customer support or customer success. Actually, that's probably the easiest way to get in if you're maybe don't have that much experience in crypto or in a particular skill. I would say maybe customer support or like social media. That's how most of our earliest interns. And then from there, as they kind of mature in the company, they can go to other roles. So that's kind of, I guess, my input. Bill, anything else to add on that?
Yes, I do. So for the Tokenmetrics crypto war room, right, where we have those crypto conversations that you're looking to get in on, you're listening to a version of it. It's the live stream in many ways, right? The other way is to, as Ian said, there's the intern route. There's also the customer route, right? The best way to learn about Tokenmetrics is to join on or listen to the live stream, bring your friends, because when we talk crypto, yeah, of course we talk crypto internally, but we're talking crypto for 2.5 to 3 hours. I mean, we talk crypto here until, we need a Gatorade IV, like an exhausted football player. So, tune in here with us.
Tokenmetrics Gatorade coming soon.
That's right. That's right. The Tokenmetrics energy drink.
Yeah. Actually, that sounds like a great idea, Bill.
Listen. We get them to, our
let's bring that up on
our quant guys. Our quant guys,
I think let's bring that up on the next marketing meeting. Tokenmetrics energy drink.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I would say if you think you're doing great work, just email us info@tokenmetrics.com. We'll take a look. All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Let's continue. Okay. So I think it's time for us to do some TA here. So very interesting. This week, we didn't have too many TA questions. I wonder why. Okay. So hi, Ian. AERGO listed in Binance recently. How is AERGO technically and fundamentally? Okay, that's AERGO, Bill.
Okay.
Okay, so as Bill pulls that up, so I think AERGO should be rated on Tokenmetrics, because I recall bringing this up some time back. Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, so for value investors, this is the grade we have. Now, this shows still scoring. Looks like something might still be missing here. But technology could have been better. If we go straight to price predictions, do we have any models? Okay, so we do have some models on this. So the price has kind of been on a decline, and the models have it going all the way down to about 3 cents, between 3 cents basically is kind of where we see it going. But let's see what the TS says.
Okay, coming up here. Okay, so this is versus the dollar. All right. And I'm trying to distill this down. Again, this is the tough thing about live TV. All right. So let me pull this up and see if I can find something. Okay. So let's try this. One of the things I've learned in crypto is if something can hold the 62% retracement of a move, so that looks like, it looks like 4 3/4 cents right here. Okay. So again, it's Sunday, November 15th. And we're looking at actually a 15-minute chart of AERGO, right? So let me see if I can do something that has maybe more of a shelf life. Like, I don't know, let's try an hour. Okay. So I think it's got to be above 4 3/4 cents to be good, or to be like a trading purchase. You know, if you get rid of that huge spike up, okay, this would be interesting to me if it dipped to say, you know, like 445. All right. Because that is the 62% retracement. So if you like this and you wanted to try to buy the next sharp dip, you could try that, right? As long as it's not crashing through, you know, 445. Okay. So again, if you're looking at this a couple weeks out, it's not a bull market in anything unless you can buy a dip, right? If you can buy a dip and it comes back, that's when acceleration and FOMO comes into play. Okay. But, you know, that coin is still proving itself.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So tell us what you think about AERGO. Are you bullish, bearish? Post your thoughts down below. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next question. Okay, this is an interesting one. All right. Is there any way to get exposure to silver through crypto like PAX G, which is for PAX Gold? Thanks. Okay. All right. So to my knowledge, I don't believe so. Let me just take a quick look here. For example, we go to CoinGecko. Do we have anything that's pegged to silver? I mean, I'm not really sure about these. These don't seem trustable, like silver coin. Never even heard of this one. Okay, let me, silvercoin.asia. Okay, let me see here. There's silver token. Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, I don't believe so. Bill, have you heard of any tokenized silver cryptocurrency?
I have not heard of tokenized silver, but I don't blame this person for asking the question, because, you know, it's been really hard, okay, for retail to get involved in physical silver. Okay. Let me just share my screen, and I'll give you I'll call this the quiet case for crypto. Okay. So as you can see up here, this is Texas Precious Metals. Okay. Silver up here at the top is trading at $25. Okay. If you want to buy a silver coin, okay, over here, you got to pay $29.93. if you say you wanted 20 of them. On a credit card, it's $31. It's asking you to pay $6 over spot to get into a silver coin. Now, these silver coins are very durable, but they're also very expensive. And more pure silver coins actually trade at an even bigger premium over spot. So why am I telling you this? Because people who question fiat currencies, people who are nervous about, what's happening in the world, the crowd that buys, a lot of canned goods and ammo and things like that, bottled water, they're interested in silver coins. But in my opinion, the pricing is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, silver's got to go up, 30, 40% before you get your money back, before you get even, right? If you go to crypto, you could get a 3x or a 1x or a 40% return in a week. So the fact that people can't get physical metals, yeah, it's bullish for metals the day that everyone wants to take delivery. I get it. I'm not bullish, okay? But honestly, if people can't get precious metals, you can get crypto. And also, there's one final joke. Let's say there is something strange that goes on in the world. Are you going to take a 100-pound box of silver coins to Walmart to go shopping? If it's a world like that, do you think it's going to be safe to cart all your silver into a store and shop? Really? No. You're going to sit home and pay with crypto, or you'll go to the store and pay with crypto. You're not going to pay with silver coins. I mean, if we're paying with silver coins, it's the Stone Age. So I'm not knocking silver at all.
Yeah.
And I understand why people want in, because the upside is huge. And I would say use equity market products to do it. But I would also say, again, if there's a case for silver, there's a case for altcoins, period.
Yeah. I mean, I agree as well. Now, if there isn't a tokenized silver, let me see. There was an app, it was kind of like the Coinbase for buying gold. Let me see if I still have this app here. Okay, maybe I just deleted it. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's One Gold. Now, this is not an endorsement for this, but my understanding is this is like an app where people can go and buy gold and silver. It's a mobile app. It's kind of like Coinbase. So if somebody wants like a digital way to buy gold or silver that's similar to Coinbase, maybe this is it. Once again, this is not an endorsement. I've not used this product. I've just, when I was looking into possibly getting gold and all that stuff, this is what I looked into and downloaded. But now that there's PAX Gold and others, I think that to me makes more sense, especially being in crypto. But this could be one worth looking into. But I think the reason maybe why silver hasn't launched is it's not as big a market as gold. So I think maybe PAX Paxos down the road could possibly create a tokenized silver token if they wanted to. But I think maybe they're just kind of waiting for more interest in the crypto space to mature. All right, but tell us, anybody with any ideas in terms of how they would get gold? Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Let me see here. Paul says they will paste the streets with gold. It will be as dirt. Okay. The nations will be bringing gold and silver to the kingdom in the millennial reign. I cannot sure understand that one. All right. So tell us what you think about silver down in the comments below. Let's go on to the next question.
Here, I do have one thing to share on that.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So when I first started in crypto, I went to the Texas Bitcoin conference. Okay. And I met the gentleman who was essentially the founder of Anthem Gold. Okay. I think it's Anthem Blanchard is his name. And this product was really interesting to me because this guy has an actual vault. Like he's actually got the physical gold. to back up the token when I spoke to him last. So when you are doing your own research, which we encourage you to do, this is something that I think is interesting along with PAX. Just wanted to bring that up because, again, the guy was like, how do we tokenize a vault of gold? Something clearly the world is now interested in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So next coin is Orchid OXT, a dead project. Any chance of recovery and life in the next bull run? All right. Good question. So let's have Bill pull that up. I think this is also in Tokenmetrics. Let's take a look here on our end. Okay, all right. I mean, so from a value investor perspective, the fundamentals on Orchid are great. Technology is all right, could be better. But fundamentals, it's great. I mean, that's why it made Coinbase. So it's a Coinbase coin. But I mean, I can see it. It basically hasn't done much. It's just been going down. Our models don't really have anything bullish happening. But let's see what the TS says.
Okay, coming up here. Okay, so one thing of interest, okay, I'm always looking for the 62% retracement, which is right at about right here. Okay, so basically what this thing is doing, it's hanging just below the key levels, the key level. So obviously it needs an upside catalyst in terms of where it is right now. So we're looking at a 4-hour chart again, Sunday, November 15th. Now, if this holds 22 cents, there's hope. If it doesn't hold 22 cents, look out. One thing I do think is very interesting about this coin is that there was this huge spike here, and there are these wicks, right? That every time this thing gets to 25 cents, somebody wants to sell it. Okay, right there. Because every time it comes up here, look at the black arrow, there's somebody selling, and then they were impatient and just kept, they couldn't wait for it to get to 25 cents. As soon as they saw a couple green candles, they hit it again. All right. Now, I've seen this before in alts in the DeFi era. Okay. So the sellers, the bag holders, because again, this has gotten hammered, right? Down from like 30 or 40 cents, wherever it was when it was up there. I've seen sellers press, get out, but they don't crack it. And what happens is, what can happen, not investment advice, but what can happen with these kind of coins is that everyone gets out, everyone gives up, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a catalyst. So I think if this thing cracks 22 cents, it's probably over. But if it can hold and bounce, okay, those sellers at 25 cents, I don't know. Are they still there? And of course, if it gets above 25 cents, then it can rally. So to answer this person's question is, it's probably worth to hold on if you're a bag holder. And if you're interested in the project, then any next little pop up might be a chance to get involved. Okay. But I wouldn't say it's dead right now, but it's got to prove itself. And there's a shot that those sellers at 25 cents are exhausted.
All right. Thank you, Bill. That was great analysis. So tell us what you think about Orchid down in the comments below. Okay. All right. Let's continue. How are we doing on time, Bill?
We're good.
You good? Okay. All right. So this is a Polkadot project. I don't think this is trading yet. So let's skip that. Okay. So somebody has a crypto showdown challenge for us. In the AMA. I like it. Very interesting. All right. So VeChain versus Ren. Where's your money long term? If you had to choose, TA would be great too. Thanks. Okay. All right. So now this is going purely based on our soon to be launched quant grade. But I would, if I had to choose between the two, I would choose Ren, because Ren, as we showed earlier, Ren had a higher grade, and I haven't really seen VeChain with the high grade in the quant grade. I think partly because Ren has been one of the leaders of DeFi, and just having more people building on top of it. Now, I don't own either coin, but if I had to choose between those two, I'd likely choose Ren, even though I do know there's a big VeChain army out there. Bill?
Okay, well, I don't want to overtalk Ren, right? I actually think this is a C, all of the above question. You know, it can't hurt to have Ren and VeChain tucked into your portfolio. VeChain is what I understand is really unique in its own little niche. So it may not do much every day, but if they hit it in their niche, it could go. So, you know, holding a little VeChain, having a VeChain lottery ticket can't hurt, because if the VeChain army ever really makes it and goes on the move, you know, never mess with a crypto that's got an army or a Marine Corps or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when they're serious, don't mess with it. And it does have, you know, it does have some fundamental validity, and the chart looks okay, right? So if I pull up the VeChain chart here, you know, to give our friends from VeChain a little bit of love. Okay, again, it's November 15th. This is a 4-hour chart. I'm looking at this and I see VeChain making this downward sloping wedge. In other words, you know, the sellers are trying to push it down like pushing a basketball underwater. And, you know, VeChain popped out of the wedge and is just kind of hanging out here, right? I call this the bird on a wire. It's the bird, you know, if you ever see a bird on top of a telephone wire, it's just sort of sitting there and then it launches. So this could be the bird on the wire getting ready to fly. Okay. As long as VeChain is stable on top of this particular point that it's at right now, which is roughly, you know, 0.0106. Okay. So, you know, there's a lot of hope in VeChain. Let's put it that way. A lot of hope.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So tell us what you think. Are you more bullish on Ren or VeChain? Let's have all the armies battle it out down in the comments below. Okay, let's check in here with the audience and see how we're doing. If you're enjoying the live stream, please be sure to smash the like buttons, subscribe, and share this with your crypto family. That helps us with the algorithm and getting the word out there. Okay, so we got a super chat here. All right, from Ace. Okay, and he wants TA on the most popular coin we have, which we typically cover, but we haven't covered today, but we'll go ahead and do that. So Ace wants us to do TA on Chainlink. All right, so thank you, Ace, for that super chat.
You know, what's wrong with us? We didn't do it earlier. We knew that somebody was going to ask. Okay, so I'm my computer locked up here. I'm getting Chainlink right now. Okay. All right. So my opinion on Chainlink is unchanged. I put this out in our newsletter and I'll take you through it. Okay. So it's a real busy picture. It's a real busy picture. Okay, so this is live TV. Give me a second. Okay. So here's Chainlink, and I think Chainlink is making a very famous formation. Okay. It's called the Jesse Livermore Speculative Cone, I believe. Let me double check the name of it. Hang on. Stay with me. Okay, it's called the accumulation cylinder. Okay. Whoops. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so you're looking at the Chainlink chart. Now here's the bottom line. Chainlink has a key pivot point at 13. Okay? So Chainlink is making this cone formation which means it's coiling up to do something big. So that'll get the Link Marine to the straight point. It's coiling up to do something big. If it gets above 13, I think it takes out 15. If it takes out 15, it's going to 30. Okay. Now, admittedly, honestly, Chainlink is trying everyone's patience. Everyone likes it. Everyone owns it. Everyone knows it's going higher, but it's frustrating people by going sideways. And this is kind of classic, right? So the Link Marines are out there and they're like, when's it going up? Well, when the new buyers start coming in. And we're waiting for those new buyers. Bottom line, if new buyers come into Chainlink, right, and alt season kicks in, Chainlink takes out 15, it's going to 30. But in the meantime, because it's the short term, right? November 15th, Sunday, don't be surprised if you have to wait, because that's what's been happening. You have to wait, right? And sometimes with long-term trades where you know it's going up, like Polkadot, sometimes you have to be patient. So be patient in Chainlink.
All right. Yeah, Bill, great analysis. Okay, let me see how we're doing. Okay, all right. So let's continue the AMA. All right, so here's a question. Here's an alt question. Will altcoins bleed until Bitcoin reaches $20,000, then alt season like in 2017, 2018? All right, Bill, what do you think about alts?
Okay, so the definition of alts, in my opinion, has changed, right? So in 2017, big boy Bitcoin went up, and then you had a speculative moonshot in a lot of like ICO coins. Some were better than others, okay? Now, DeFi was somewhat similar in the sense that you had a lot of small coins moon out of nowhere and then come all the way back down. I think in this case, altcoins are higher quality. The altcoins that survive, like the Aave price action or the Uniswap price action, are examples. I think altcoins are not just a speculative casino anymore. Okay. It's not a casino. It's the new wave of technology. It's the new NASDAQ. Okay. So I think the trading pattern goes like this. Bitcoin there's an algorithm out there that's buying Bitcoin every Thursday. Bitcoin's only been down on Thursday once since September. And this is typical in equities, right? When something's being drained out by big institutions. So Wednesday to Friday is Bitcoin. Okay. Friday night to Wednesday morning is alts until further notice, right? Like we were talking about a dip in Litecoin. I was dying to buy a dip, and look where it is now. It's at 63. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it was all going to go to zero, and then it all went green.
Now, let's actually combine this question with this other question. Yes. When will the next sustained alt season start? I like the word here, sustained.
Sustained.
No flash in the pan.
Right. Okay. So let's define sustained. Okay. So again, the definition in the crypto community of sustained is I buy the Twitter coin of the day and it goes up 5x, and I do that until I can buy a Lambo or a Hawaii vacation. You know, that's what alt season means to people. I get it. When is that going to happen? In the middle of a pandemic with a presidential crisis and everyone chasing Bitcoin? I would say everything moving 5x every day. No, I would say there's a new definition of sustained. In my opinion, alt season is actually happening now, but it's slower, right? Remember in 2017, Bitcoin was like 10,000, 12,000, 20,000. Now it's 10,000, 13,000. Okay. Now it's at 16,000, slowly, slowly, slowly. Alts, I think, are, it's like Aave, Yearn, Uni, and then other coins will follow. Like maybe it'll be Dash, Litecoin, right? So alts are having an alt season, but they're doing it 2 or 3 coins at a time. And then I think there will come a point where people are going to have to take all that Bitcoin that they've got and put it to work, right? I'd love to be on a TV show with Mike Novogratz and say, hey, Mike, what are you going to spend all that Bitcoin on? You know what he's going to spend it on? All these hedge fund managers that have got Bitcoin, they're going to come in one day and go, okay, we made a bunch of money in Bitcoin. Now what? Or all those people on PayPal were like, ooh, I got the crypto bug. What's next? Tell you what, folks, what's next is actually happening right now, slowly, which is why I'm like, every time there's like a dip, you have your alt season of the week, when Bitcoin's rallying on Thursday or Wednesday to Thursday, that's when altcoins, right? You just keep pulling it in. And if there's a big flash dip, you try to get more, because I think it's happening now.
All right. Yeah, I think solid points there, Bill. Thank you so much. Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, let's move on to the next coin request. Okay, we have Elrond. Okay, yes. Hi, what do you think of Elrond, altcoin? Thanks, gentlemen. Okay, Bill, let's have Bill pull that up. Actually, let me see what their ticker symbol. I think ticker symbol is EGLD.
I have ERD, but I make sure I got that right.
They changed their ticker symbols some time back.
I know.
EGLD. Yeah, so this is what we have here in terms of, technology is decent, it's good. Fundamentals decent as well. As Bill's pulling that up, if we go to price prediction, okay, yeah, this one's something happened here. Okay, not sure whether they had a rebase or something, but we'll have to, actually, maybe they did. Okay, let me zoom in here to just the last 1 month. Okay, so our models have it actually declining from 750 all the way down to, wow, like 580. So basically bearish.
Okay, so I have EGLD trading at 762. Is that right? Is that the right symbol?
Yeah. That's the one.
Okay, all right. Well, let me bring up the chart. Okay, so this is the new formation I'm looking at in altcoins, right? Up, some sort of consolidation. Up, some sort of consolidation. Okay. I think that there's hope here, right? Mm-hmm. They have smashed this thing. And I'm pleased to say that after I just got done kind of pumping my idea of a stealth alt season, is we had a saying from back in the DeFi days early on when we were looking at coins that had been wrecked. Okay, so again, it's a 4-hour chart here on Sunday, November 19th. And obviously things can change over time, but our saying from DeFi was the bigger the base, the higher in the space, right? Now, this is a small base because it's a 4-hour chart, but, there's some hope that this thing turns around, right? Whatever made it trade at 18 could send it back to 18. If there was a catalyst. And I do like this sort of action here where it's up and then, it's start, then stop, start, then stop. That can lead, when the bulls take over, that can lead to a big move. How big? I don't know. Maybe a price target of 12 if something really good happened here. Okay. Now, if you're wrong, it may just sit around at 7. It may just be kind of like, eh. So you really have to make sure you like it, because I think these alts are going to pop one at a time. But again, as I'm saying in a lot of coins, there's some hope here in EGLD.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Bill. Tell us what you think about Elrond. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Post your thoughts down below. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, super long live stream. We've been going at it for almost 3 hours. So I think it's time for us to wrap things up. Okay, Bill, last words to our Tokenmetrics family.
Folks, there's a lot of stressful things going on out there. Make sure you count your blessings. Being grateful for what you have is the best way to quickly access the Einstein part of your brain. So pay less attention to scary stuff on the news and be grateful for what you have, because you're going to want that Einstein brain and that clear head, because crypto, last part of this year and definitely next year, you want to be positioned, you want to be ready, you want to be liquid, and you want to be there, because you're not too early and it's not too late. The time is now.
All right. Thank you, Bill. And my last words are, first of all, thank you to our Tokenmetrics family, crypto family, our 1-year birthday anniversary. We could not do this without you. Doing this live stream, I mean, every single week without fail. I mean, I've been traveling in so many states. I'm back in Texas now after being in California. But basically, it's been great, right? Now with the 1-year anniversary, we plan to honor everyone by giving out a discount or coupon for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So definitely share this video with anybody you know in crypto who's not yet on Tokenmetrics, because this is the month for them to join Tokenmetrics. We're launching the new Quant grade. We're launching the trader grade. We're launching a revamped, basically way to allocate capital with our indices using the Black Swan model. So essentially, Tokenmetrics is going to be 10 times better. I mean, because we're changing the old AI for the new AI. We're basically switching the brain in the AI. And this brain is 10 times better, a lot more effective. I mean, obviously, when I say 10 times, I'm kind of exaggerating, but basically, it's a lot better than what we had before. And Tokenmetrics is now getting closer to becoming fully automated. And we're giving you a discount because it's a one-year anniversary, because this discount will likely be the biggest discount we've ever given for any promotion, not counting like the initial launch discount, but it's going to be a pretty big discount. So, and even for our current customers, for those who joined a year ago, I think this might, I have to talk to our team and see if we can even give everyone access to that same discount. But if possible, we'll do that. So stay tuned. We'll have an official announcement next week on the next live stream. But I mean, as Bill mentioned, crypto is on the verge of its shining moment. I mean, PayPal is in crypto. PayPal. I mean that's like the biggest endorsement in crypto ever. I mean, when I saw you can go on PayPal and buy, I think, Litecoin. Imagine if PayPal becomes the new Coinbase. All that money flowing into crypto, and we'll have the best AI in the world to help you make money as an investor or trader. So the same tools that the hedge funds have, you have at the access of your keyboard and fingertips, anywhere in the world. I mean, and we're all here together, all going to the moon and beyond. So with that being said, share this video with your friends. And as we like to say, the moon is not the limit, to the moon and beyond. Thank you, crypto family.
Thank you.